Let's get to Eli Lilly here, surging almost 4% today after a beat and raise earnings report, thanks to booming demand for its GLP-1 drug Zepbound and Mounjaro. Also in obesity, Novo Nordisk down 2.5% after confirming that it has made an unsolicited bid to acquire Metsera, better than the offer that Pfizer had made last month. Semaphore reporting this afternoon that Pfizer is considering a lawsuit against Novo and Metsera over the bid. For more on all of this, Mizuho healthcare strategist Jared Holz is here on set. Jared, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
What did you make of the strength out of Eli Lilly, given a lot of the Mounjaro driver came from outside the United States?
Yeah, a good quarter in total. Didn't really think it needed to be nitpicked that much. It's nice to see international grow a little bit. I think part of the problem with Mounjaro and Zepbound here is that this prescription data is so widely available, makes it difficult to beat those numbers because the analysts keep on changing them and they become, more easy to predict. Guidance raised by $2 billion, only 2 months to go in the year. Seems like they're pretty confident. So I think all in pretty good.
For Pfizer, in terms of Novo Nordisk now stepping in, what did you make? I mean, it's so out of character for Novo Nordisk, and to go against Pfizer. I mean, how do you interpret it? Is it desperation? Is it just being aggressive because they know they have to turn the business around? Combination of all?
Well, I wrote this morning that I thought it was desperate, so I'll stick with that. Okay. I think there's like a little bit of desperation across the board, you could say, right? Because it's so clear that Pfizer has missed the boat for now and that Novo Nordisk's pipeline has taken hits. We've discussed it so many times this year. It's a very, very interesting deal to kind of consider within the context of pharma. You typically don't see overbidding. I don't remember the last time it's happened. And then in this structure, like a lot of the risk arb community today, they have not seen a structure like this where you're basically circumventing FTC. And like there's a lot of legalities involved in this. But when you go back to the Pfizer Metsera deal, there were 5 other bidders for Metsera. Metsera chose not to take Novo's deal because I think they believed that a deal wouldn't go through. And now they're coming back because they think it might. So it's very confusing, not really sure what happens from here. But yes, a little bit desperate on Novo's part. But yes, new board, new management. There's actually a board member that is supposed to join Novo, a former head of R&D at Pfizer. So there could be some, interplay there that makes this pretty intriguing.
Is there going to be a rush to get this deal sort of accepted or worked on? Because Metsera has some key readouts, December, January timeframe. I mean, is there going to be a rush to get it before those readouts happen and push the stock even higher?
I would think so. I think as a buyer, you want to you want the asset before those catalysts read out, if you're positive.
Bipartisan is big cap pharma. And you're going to hear politicians. Eli Lilly did $17 billion of revenue. Mounjaro and Zepbound were $10 billion. They're making money hand over fist. Are they going to be a victim of their own success in the political landscape?
I think they've already been a victim in part. Like the administration has talked about drug pricing. They've singled out the GLPs as being this massive class that they have to sort of control. You're seeing what companies are doing, bringing back manufacturing to kind of offset some of that risk. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest drug class. At the same time, prices have come down 50% within a year. So they started at around $1,000, $1,200 a month. They're now running $400 to $500. So, yes, for sure.
Seeing that there's such a race for Metsera, what are the other ones to put on the board at this point?
I mean, I think you go back to structure, which, I think there's probably some value on that for that amylin alone, which goes into the clinic, I think, next month or 2 months from now. And then Viking is still around, although I think the gating factor for them has been more in the manufacturing, that you can buy the asset, but then you have to continue to heavily invest behind the infrastructure and things like that, where Metsera, I believe the strategics, large cap pharma, believe that's an easier lift. But Viking is still out there.